And we are live. Welcome to the Podcast Perplexium. Nick Martinez, thank you for joining me.
Hey, what's up, Dylan? Thanks for having me.
Of course, man.
It's been a while.
It has been a while.
Oh, my God.
Glad you're here. And
hey, thanks for the coffee. Cheers.
Of course. Cheers. Hope it's all right.
Thanks, man.
I told them a little bit of vanilla. And it's,
It's good.
Yeah.
Good.
Probably
Like
got to
it.
shake it up a little bit. But
Yeah.
how's jiu-jitsu been going?
Pretty bad, man. I fucked up my knees.
Oh, no.
Well, like 2 months ago, I landed super hard on my left knee, and then after a month, I started training again, and then I had one of my buddies, Edgar, I had him in a triangle, and he was like getting out, and it fucking just popped on the outside.
Edgar's so good.
I know. He's getting strong too.
I love that guy.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. He's after you left, I had to rely on him for good rounds.
Giving me too much credit.
Yeah.
So that's how we met, jiu-jitsu, back in 2018 at the University of Jiu-Jitsu. Salo and Shanji Hibieros.
I remember the first day I met you.
Really?
Yeah, you were like, oh, that's a cool hat. Because I was wearing like a Jiu-Jitsu hat.
Right.
And, I remember that day, and I was like, oh, he looks like a visitor.
I'm going to turn you up just a little bit, probably. It's probably good.
All right. How's that?
It's probably good. I don't have the headphones in, but
Probably not talking loud enough on the...
We'll find out afterwards, but
Yeah.
I can always turn everything up later. So yeah, Jiu-Jitsu, you're involved with that company, or?
Yeah, actually, the owner, his name is Jesse. I've known him since I was like maybe 19, 20, 21. I'm not sure. Like, he was one of my best friends, was one of his best friends, and then we became friends.
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't until 2017 when I told him I'm ready to quit working downtown and I want to start doing jiu-jitsu. He's like, yeah, me too. I need to get He's like, I need to get back in shape. So then that's how I found Leo Santos.
Mm-hmm.
Then we started training with him in La Jolla. Trained with him, that whole year there. By the summertime, I started training at the U. That way I can get more sparring.
So this was all in your first year of training jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. So I liked the La Jolla spot because it was like a really small classes, and usually there was about 2 black belts. We would have Salo teach sometimes. Sanji would be there. Gustavo Diaz, Victor Hugo, and we had like classes like maybe like 6, 7, 8 people.
Mm-hmm.
That big. So it's like we're getting like really good detail and attention every single time I train.
I like when the class size is smaller because you get more focus.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
it was like, and we did a lot of like fundamentals because most of the students were like, the highest belt was like maybe a purple belt at, whenever we're training. So it's all good fundamentals. And that was really good for me when I first started because, sometimes you start doing like a little bit more advanced stuff and you just get lost
Mm-hmm.
as a white belt,
Yeah.
But with the small class, they can take care of you,
Yeah. And you're a purple belt now.
Yeah, purple. Can't believe it.
It's crazy to think. Like, I remember being a white belt and feeling the power of purple belts at that time, and having that just feel so far. And then now both of us are purple belts, and yeah, it's crazy to believe that. And you're going to be a black belt though.
Yeah, you too, man.
Yeah,
you too.
for sure.
We'll probably be black around the same time.
I believe it. That's what I think too.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try to align my progression.
Mm-hmm.
You've always been. Did you play Pokemon growing up?
I did.
All right, so.
Man, I used to be addicted to Pokemon.
Do you remember Gary?
Yeah.
All right, so the rivalry between Ash and Gary. I wouldn't say that like.
Dude, you're the Gary.
Okay.
You're Gary.
We don't have a rivalry, but
Yeah.
the way that they would like keep each other in check. I kind of think of us that way.
Okay.
Yeah. How would you describe your jiu-jitsu?
You know what? Learning from like Salo and Sanji, I think it's I try to copy them. Like whenever I train, I just try to copy them and do the things that they did, and so it's pretty fundamental.
Fundamental.
I don't really get into any advanced things or whatever, and especially since I started helping with the kids classes, I get extra time on the fundamentals, just getting mental reps, knowing the fundamentals like inside and out. That way I can help teach the kids better. And so I just got more fundamentals, like just in the system, keep going and going. And like Nadim, I had him start helping out my class, and I told him, man, you're gonna, it's good that you're gonna be here because you're gonna get extra fundamental work. Everything that you need, to advance the blue, because he's like the green with like 4 stripes right now, and he's like on the he's on the verge of turning blue soon.
In my opinion, the 6 Blades Hibiero style team, I think that's really the best way to be a white belt, because you're gonna have more focused, smaller classes, and they're not always small. I mean, some academies have a lot of students, but they're so focused on the basics, learning the real meat and potato fundamental jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, the movements, how to move properly.
Yeah, and concepts, right? Like
what not to do.
Yeah, what not to do.
Especially as white belt.
Yeah. I think that's a blessed way to be a white belt. So I was gonna ask you, what was it about the Hibiero team? Well, like, what drew you to Salo and Shanji? But it sounds like you kind of just knew the right people at the right time.
Yeah, honestly, I seen them. I wasn't really into watching like jiu-jitsu stuff. I was more into like UFC type stuff. And I remember I met like Diego Sanchez a long time ago. And then I saw he was like on UFC, and then he was training at the university. And I saw Salo in his corner, and he was training with Salo and Sanji. And I remember them from there. I remember one thing he said. He said, "There's black belts, and then there's super black belts."
Oh yeah.
There's a difference.
Yeah.
World class black belts. Because there's a lot of black belts out there, but how often do you find a Hall of Fame one?
Yeah, that was my experience when I visited. I started jiu-jitsu in South Florida, and when I went to Cyborg Roberto Abreu. So when I went to Cyborg's academy and I met him, have you ever seen him? That guy?
Actually, I did. I saw him when Victor fought him.
Yeah.
At that Worlds 2019.
Yeah. So like I couldn't believe like.
Man, that guy's got a big neck.
He's just like a huge human being.
Yeah, massive.
So when I went to visit that academy and I was talking to the people there, they were like, "Look, there's black belts, and then there's black belts. It's a whole different beast."
Yeah.
So what's it like being a male model?
It's interesting. It's up and down. You never know what's next, or sometimes your schedule's clean. You don't got nothing going on, so you got free time to work on other things. And then sometimes you're just like, oh, I got to do this, I got to do that, I got to do, So.
How'd you get into that? I mean, did you, was that something that you initiated, or did you start it when you were a kid?
No, actually, I started when I was 28. I used to hate taking pictures. I used to hate taking pictures. I used to hate being in front of class. Like I used to hate reading, anything where the attention was on you. I hated it. I would kind of freeze up and crumble. So I think, and I think the things that I do are opposite to my natural personality. I grew up. I was kind of like a weenie growing up. I was. Quiet. I didn't stand up for myself, really.
Would you say that you're more of an introvert?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm more of a, more introverted. Yeah. I need time on my own sometimes, But I do love being around people. I have a big family, so, there's always some kind of event or activity. There's always something going on.
Mm-hmm.
Always, no matter what. I got 4 brothers, 1 sister, like around 50 cousins.
Mm-hmm.
We're all over San Diego.
That's great. It's cool that and you see them all the time.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah. Like after this, we're going to the Coronado, Glorieta Bay.
Beautiful.
Got some cousins in town from Utah.
Beautiful.
Yeah, it's gonna be cool.
Nice.
Yeah.
How are you feeling right now?
You know what? I would be like great, perfect, except I want to train. You know, like my knee's holding me back from, getting it. I mean, I can, but it would be a little too risky at this time to get in there and start training hard,
Mm-hmm.
I popped it. I didn't go to the doctor, but it is getting better, and I feel like it should be probably pretty good in about 2 weeks. So, yeah, that's the only thing I'm missing right now is jiu-jitsu, man.
Mm-hmm.
So I did go to class Monday, Wednesday, but I didn't do any rolling. I just did technique and, help out the younger belts.
Mm-hmm. And be social.
Yeah, yeah, be there, for the guys and the girls and the kids, especially the kids, man.
Yeah, they love you.
Yeah, we always have fun, man. The best thing, if you ever do a kids class, they love dodgeball at the end.
Got to keep it fun.
Yeah, you got to reward them with dodgeball.
You have to make it fun.
Mm-hmm.
Give me some more advice on running a kids class in jiu-jitsu.
All right, first, you got to be the assistant. Like if you start somewhere, you kind of got to be the assistant. That way you kind of get in there, the kids familiarize with you. You work with somebody who knows what they're doing, because if you get out there by yourself and you don't it's like your first day and you got like 10 kids or whatever, they're just going to run around all crazy, man. So, I mean, unless you have some kind of experience somewhere else doing, kids classes, you got to work with somebody for a while to get comfortable. You know all their names. The kids respect you. They got to respect you.
Yeah.
They got to respect you in order to listen to you. Yeah, it takes a while. I'd only recommend teaching like 1 technique, 2 at the max.
I don't know if I could do it.
It's if you can teach kids, you can teach adults.
Oh, because
it's a lot harder.
if you can teach kids, you can teach adults.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hey, I tip my hat off to you,
Yeah.
Nick. I really admire and appreciate anyone who works with children.
Uh-huh.
But particularly in jiu-jitsu, where the kids are trying to strangle each other. I mean,
well,
God
yeah,
bless
you know
them,
what? The beginning, the hard part is you got to keep your eye on them, because kids don't know how to fall. They're gonna
that's
fall
another
all weird. Like their arms are gonna be behind their back. Like, they don't know how to tuck in right away or break fall. It's not in their DNA yet. So when they fall, they hit their head on the mat really hard sometimes. So you got to make sure you do a lot of break falls, a lot of falling, teaching them how to roll, how to become a ball, keep their elbows in, so they don't land on their elbows and all that. So that's when the kid is first starting out, the first couple months, it's them falling is a little okay, they're okay,
Mm-hmm. That's something that we really take for granted. And in jiu-jitsu, I mean,
after a while of training, then you don't even think about it no more.
Right. I mean, when we started, one of the first things that they teach you is how to fall correctly.
Mm-hmm.
And did you ever skateboard growing up or anything like that?
You know what? I did skateboard, and that's why I had these 2 scars on my chin.
Oh, is that what that's from?
Yeah, skateboarding. I was probably 4 or 5, I don't know. And then I guess I never really got into skateboarding after that.
Yeah, I think it's for the best.
Yeah. But I ended up doing karate in 2nd grade.
Mm-hmm.
So I used to watch all those action movies with Jean-Claude Van Damme. He was one of my heroes back then.
Uh-huh.
And still one of my heroes. But we started doing karate, me and my cousins and my brothers, and I had a really good karate instructor. His name was Ferdy Alice. Taught me a lot of discipline and how to be tough when I wasn't. So we did a lot of rolls, and actually I heard that Frank Miranda.
Yeah, of course.
He's buddies with him.
Oh, really?
And I found this out maybe a year and a half ago.
Mm-hmm.
And
It turned you up a little bit more. Go ahead.
And my karate sensei, he's also a black belt.
Mm-hmm.
He's a black belt in jiu-jitsu too. So I remember he used to teach us like, Osoto Gari, arm bars, some takedowns, and he had us kind of like well-rounded, self-defense wise. So
when you're doing stand-up grappling in jiu-jitsu, do you ever have judo takedowns in mind that you like to do? I mean, like what would you say maybe are your top 3? If you are thinking about judo, what would be your top 3 judo takedowns that you like to try to go for?
So I love doing stand-up whenever I can. That's why, every time I was with you, I like stand-up.
Yeah.
But yeah, I say my top 3 takedowns, judo style.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know what it's called, but it's like you get that body lock. You kind of come in and get the body lock. You get that. Yeah, you clench their side, put your head in their chest, and you get your knee behind their knee, and you kind of just lean them back. I've done that one the most in tournaments.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's like real easy to get through. You get your grips and use your right hand, come around the back and grab the belt, squeeze tight. Then you could just naturally get your right knee behind.
Tani Otoshi, I think.
Okay, Tani Otoshi?
Yeah. Yeah, okay, I like that one too.
Yeah, that one's real easy in tournaments to get to.
You kind of trip them, trip the back of their feet.
Super safe too. Like it's super safe. Like you get the grip, boom. If you could get in, then whenever I can get that arm underneath and grab the belt, it's pretty much done right there.
Yeah.
But sometimes some guys are good about fighting and not letting you get that arm around their back. So then you got to go for something else.
Mm-hmm.
What's the one where you get you grab the back, grab the belt, and you flip them over. You roll backwards. You flip them with the leg.
Yeah, so it's a sacrifice throw.
Yeah, that one.
I think it's called Sumi Gaeshi.
Yeah, Sumi Gaeshi.
Yeah.
That's one of my other favorite ones.
Love it.
Yeah, especially when they're going for a single leg.
When they're going for a single leg and then you hook their leg, you make a butterfly hook.
Yeah. When I was a blue belt, this guy did this to me in the World Masters Championship. I got the single leg, maybe 1 minute left. I was going to take him down. It was 0-0. I was going to take him down. He was going down, and then he did that Sumigaeshi on me. I didn't, I flipped over, but I bounced up, and I got up right away, but they gave him the advantage on that one because it was a really nice move. And then I lost that match. But after that, I never forgot it.
I love that one.
Yeah.
I think it's cool that you are involved in Jiu-Jitsu. You're partners with him, right? Or
he's one of my best friends. He got me into Jiu-Jitsu. I've known him for a long time. Whenever he needs, an extra hand, I'm there for him.
Yeah. So before I met you, I loved that brand.
Yeah.
But I would never see it on the East Coast for whatever reason. Because I started jiu-jitsu in Florida, and I'm from New York. So, in New York, we have the brands out there that are New York based.
Which ones are those? Which are the main brands out there?
Something I've honestly been so out of the loop that I'm kind of forgetting.
I think the brand VHTS is out there, right?
Right. Yeah, you see stuff like that.
Yeah, because Victor would tell me they're in New York or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But I would see ads on Facebook for Jiu-Jitsu, and I'd see all the cool trailers.
Yeah, they're growing, man. They're growing.
Yeah, so I didn't even know that about you. I just saw. The first day we met, I saw that hat, and I'm like, dude, I like that hat.
Yeah, I was sporting that stuff, man.
Yeah.
It's funny. I feel like it's crazy. I've never bought a gi. I've never bought a gi.
Well, that's not like me.
I've never bought all my jiu-jitsu stuff. I've never bought anything. Yeah. Except for my 6-plate shirt that I saw it on the website. I had to get one. You know, the Budokan one.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I had to get that one on the website. It was good, but yeah, man, it's like I've been blessed in jiu-jitsu. I'm coming in. You know, I'm coming in like an older guy too. I started at 32. I'm 36 now. I came in. I feel like they kind of like rolled the red carpet for me, but like not really. But that's how I kind of like felt coming in, because I've just been getting taken care of left and right. Like, you know, been accepted and you know, treated as, you know, like I never felt like I was a white belt with them. Like, oh, he's the new guy, like that. It's just like, oh, hey, what's up, bro? Like, you know, always been really welcomed in. They, you know, they're always helping me out. You know,
Shanji's so cool.
Yeah, you know, hanging out with Sanji. You know,
you hit it off right away with him when you met him.
Yeah.
Me too. That's what drew me there, honestly. Like when I moved to San Diego, I went from academy to academy, and I'm a vibes guy. It's got to feel right to me when I'm in the academy. And when I came to San Diego and I walked into the U and met Shanji Hibiero, after we spoke, it just made so much sense. I knew that he was the guy I wanted to learn from. Yeah, and that's how it was with you as well, right?
Yeah. Well, actually, I didn't meet them right away.
Right.
Because I was training with Leo.
Yeah.
Leo, and we were training in La Jolla. So you know how I like to, like, you know, get on top and smash and all that. Yeah. That's all Leo.
Right.
That's all those moves were all Leo stuff. I still use them today, you know, the most. Yeah, I think I actually met Saulo first, and yeah, he always treated me like a son, man. It's crazy. Like, always, like, I felt like always under his wing, you know, always took care of me.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Cool, man. What's a talent that you wish you had?
A talent that I wish I had, huh?
Yeah.
Shoot. I wish I could sing and dance. So I'm terrible at those. But, you know, I think maybe with a little bit of practice, I could probably get the dancing down. But singing, I don't know about that.
You wish you could sing and dance. Would you want to be would you want to perform on stage? Like, would you ever?
I would, if I was good enough, I would. You know.
Would you do musicals? Like, here.
I could. Yeah, if I had the talent for it and people wanted me to do it, and it was like, okay, I'm doing this, let's do it. You know, just like tournaments. You know, like,
yeah.
All right, hey,
surprising me, man.
I would sign up for that. You know.
Cool. You ever seen a Broadway show live?
I have not seen a Broadway show live.
You ever been to New York?
I haven't been to New York. No, not yet.
You want to?
Of course. I heard it's like the city of the future out there.
Someday, man, I'll
head out there.
I'll bring you out. We'll go.
All right, sounds
I'll show you
good.
New York City. It's a crazy place.
Yeah, man. Yeah, we're gonna have to go do little was it vlog, video vlog at the different jiu-jitsu gyms and all that. Put together a thing.
That'd be fun. Well, I watch those flow grappling guys.
Yeah.
Travel from academy to academy all over the world, and that just looks like so much fun. But you know, before podcasting, I tried making vlogs. Like, I had a YouTube channel before this, and I was like holding the camera and speaking to the camera.
It's a lot of work, huh?
I couldn't do it. There's just something about holding the camera and like speaking to it that just
it doesn't feel real.
Yeah, exactly.
You feel like fake, like doing that stuff.
It's not natural. See,
yeah.
Like, podcasting works because
that's why I don't like taking selfies. It's like,
yeah, exactly.
You know,
and then you're like,
I mean, unless it's like with my buddies, all my buddies want to take a picture. Okay, let's take a picture. You know.
Of course. Yeah.
It just doesn't feel real doing it like on your own.
Right. But that's why podcasting is. I see it working for me because we're having a conversation. You know, I'm just talking with my friend.
Yeah.
So, if you could, you would sing and dance, or you'd want.
Well, I feel like that's something that I really suck at.
Yeah.
So, that's.
You'd want to enhance that skill.
Yeah, I want to turn a weakness into a strength.
Hell yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that's. I realized that when I was maybe in 9th grade, because I was, I was doing karate back then. I was skinny. I was like 120 pounds, and I played football. I was playing flag football, until 9th grade. I started playing tackle, but I was skinny. Like I was small. I was tiny, and my first season I rode the bench.
Mm-hmm.
So, like after that, I'm like, okay, I know I'm like too small. I don't have enough, power behind it, and so after school, I gave up like hanging out with the other kids, and I just went straight to the weight room for every single day after school, all high school. So I went from 9th grade 120, and I remember the end of my junior year, I got up to 175.
Nice.
So what is that, like 55 pounds?
Jeez. Yeah.
And I still felt like I was small.
Well, when I roll with you, you do not feel small. You feel pretty damn strong. So, just saying.
Yeah, that's all that football weightlifting back in the day.
The old man strength too.
Yeah, well, yeah, that turns into old man strength after a while.
Yeah.
You live for like about 20 years, and it's like, okay, like that's sticking around for good now.
Yeah. Would you ever want to be a Hollywood actor if you had the chance? Like, would you want to be that famous?
I'd be down.
Yeah.
I feel like I could do that. But that does take a lot of other skills, just like the singing and dancing shit. I would have to, learn the other side too.
Yeah.
And that's a lot. I want to get my black belt first before I,
Step one.
Yeah, I want to get the black belt before I can start, spending time developing other skills. Because I want to develop my skills, become a black belt, and then I can start looking at other things to work on. Because I'm one of those kind of guys. Like it's hard for me to focus on different things at once.
Yeah.
I want to be good at one specific thing. I can focus on it and advance faster. Versus me looking at 3 different things, and then it's like, I'm never gonna make it anywhere, or I'm gonna go really slow.
Yeah, if you're a jack of all trades, then you're a master of none. Right?
Exactly.
So, let's master one first.
Exactly. That's what I want to do.
I'm with you, man. Especially, this is gonna be. By the way, anyone who's listening or watching the videos, this conversation is going to be a jiu-jitsu dominated topic focused conversation. So yeah, jiu-jitsu is so consuming. It's so time demanding. Like you really have to put all your eggs in that basket if you're gonna reach the highest levels. I feel you, man. Like there's so many. And
you gotta take care of your body.
You have to take care of your body.
You have to, because
you have to eat right. You have to sleep right.
I'm getting banged up a little bit here and there, but just like, I used to get banged up in football too, but I gotta make sure you ice up. And you know what's crazy? I think out of all my teammates and stuff, I probably got injured the least. I think because of karate, because we did a lot of front rolls, back rolls, all the break falls, and all those things, and I think that helped me stay more injury free than other kids when I was playing. So actually, I'm coaching football now. I started coaching my nephew's team, flag. It's the youngest kids I've ever coached, the 6 and 7 year olds. We had our second practice yesterday, and I had them doing break falls. And I've never had a football practice where we practice break falls.
Wow.
So I know I'm gonna instill that into them. I just did break falls yesterday. The next practice, I'm going to do some front rolls. And then the practice after that, some back rolls. And then, start incorporating a little bit of that stuff, a little bit every day into their warm-ups.
I think that's so cool. I never played football. I played lacrosse a little bit back home.
And they don't teach you how to fall.
They don't teach you how to fall, and like the injuries that we would have are from
falling. Most of the time, right?
Just like falling wrong.
Or like they hit you, you fall, you hit the helmet on the side of the on the field, on the floor, and a lot of kids get headaches, or especially the concussions. Everybody's talking about concussions. Like football took a big hit after that movie came out. What was that movie again with the concussions? With Will Smith?
Oh man.
It was probably concussion or something like that. I don't know.
It's noon on Sunday. It might as well.
Yeah.
To me, that's like this might as well be 6 a.m.
Yeah. But yeah, I told most of the I remember getting hit and going down. Not every time I could protect myself, but sometimes I did hit my helmet on the floor. Because when they're tackling you, you kind of don't have control sometimes. So I remember I do getting a few bad hits, or where it flashes wide. The whole your eye, you lose your sight. Everything, it looks like a TV screen. Like with a static TV screen, everything turns black and staticky, and then everything slowly comes back, and then you're a little bit dizzy.
Yeah.
But
that would have been cool if when I was playing lacrosse, if we had some lessons where we learned how to fall.
Yeah, fall, roll over your shoulder, tuck your chin. So that's the next thing I'm trying to work on with the next kids I'm coaching. And hopefully we can take these kids all the way from like 6, 7, all the way up the ranks till, we let them go to high school, Because it's my nephew's team. And we just want to create a little dynasty,
Yeah.
And I got most of my cousins coaching with us, so it's kind of the first time we actually get to have basically full control over a team. Mm-hmm. And I'm really excited about that.
The team is your baby.
It is. Yeah. It is. It's like a newborn baby. We got a lot of kids, and the practices have been going well. The kids are really listening. My brother, he's been coaching football longer than me, so he's probably at least got 10 seasons under his belt, all levels, all different levels, from youth to high school. And I've coached a lot with him, but maybe a few less seasons, maybe like 8 or 9, I think I have. So he's probably coached at least 12. And he's doing really good. I told him last year, I'm like, man, you gotta take control of a team, because you'd be the best qualified of any other like coach to like take control of it. Mm-hmm. You'd be the best one. So I'm glad he was able to get the opportunity.
Nick, I'm happy that you're so passionate about it. I'm happy that you sound very passionate about this project, and I'm happy that you have it, dude.
Yeah, man. Like I love football. Mm-hmm. And
you watch it?
Actually, I kind of stopped watching. Well, maybe like last 5 years, I took a big step back, and I've been more into like jiu-jitsu, martial arts.
Yeah. What do you watch? You watch UFC, right?
Yeah. I missed the last one, and I was like, kicking myself for it because I heard it was so good. But yeah, I love watching UFC. I used to be like religiously watching football every Sunday, all day. And I used to study the players of the positions that I used to play, mainly like Ray Lewis.
Yeah. What's your favorite team?
The Chargers. I was, because I'm from San Diego. I've been a big Charger fan my whole life. I remember my first memory.
That makes sense.
Yeah, my first memory is me like playing cars. I don't know how old I am, probably like 2 or 3. And then my dad and grandpa are, watching football. I don't even know what's going on. But I know it was the Chargers because my grandpa was yelling. He was mad at the TV. But I just remember playing that, and I always wanted to play. And I'd always play with my cousins. Like, every time it's like a holiday, we go out in the yard and just play football with each other. And then we ended up playing flag. And then when some of us went to high school together, me, my brother, my cousin Baron, and Michael, we all played on the same team. And We ended up being, state champions in high school. It was quite a ride. It was weird because I didn't get good at tackle until I was a senior. And then I didn't even know I was good. You know what I mean? And then, I realized, oh shit, I guess I'm pretty good. I played every game. We were undefeated. I was playing middle linebacker. It was my first year playing defense. And then at the end of the game, we won. And I'm like, damn. I'm like, I finally got good, and now it's over. But I didn't realize I was going to keep playing.
Yeah, that's how I feel about lacrosse. It wasn't until like the very tail end of
your career.
Yeah, that I actually developed like skill where I could put the ball in the back of the net.
Yeah.
And then I had to shift gears. And
it's over. It's sad putting it away, right?
It's sad having to end a chapter.
Yeah.
And it's that time in between ending it and not knowing exactly like what the next chapter is going to be.
Yeah.
I mean, the next chapter for me was martial arts.
Mm-hmm. How old were you when you started?
Lacrosse or
jiu-jitsu, martial arts.
Okay.
When did you start first? What martial art did you do first?
Yeah, so I did Muay Thai first.
Mm-hmm. How old were you?
Let's see.
So it was after lacrosse?
It was after lacrosse. I started Muay Thai in 2013. Yeah, because I did Muay Thai for 3 years, and then I started Jiu-Jitsu in 2016.
Okay, so you started Jiu-Jitsu about 2 years before me.
Yeah, but the first year I did Jiu-Jitsu, it was no-gi only, and I did it for like 2 days a week. Because the thing is, I was still doing Muay Thai as I was doing Jiu-Jitsu, and I had to get sold on Jiu-Jitsu. I fell in love with Jiu-Jitsu from the first class, but I needed a little bit more time to really recognize that was really the martial art that spoke to me the most, and that was the one I wanted to do in terms of longevity.
Yeah. I feel like, you gotta practice to stand up, because every fight starts standing up.
Sure.
But after a while, it kind of, for me, it kind of like depends on your athleticism.
Yeah.
I mean, the technique is a lot also, but for sparring, you can't be sparring like into your twilight days,
You can't regularly be practicing hitting someone's head.
Yeah.
Or getting hit in the head yourself. You're gonna suffer brain damage.
Yep.
I think it's really, really important for someone to learn how to protect their face, how to protect their head.
Yeah.
Right? Like if you're in a standing altercation,
you gotta defend yourself.
Understand that like this is the valuable stuff right here. It's all valuable, but like this is the most important piece right here. So like better keep that protected. And then learning how to throw a proper jab, cross, and hook, right? And especially like when you throw that jab, like
you gotta keep defending while you're attacking.
You have to keep defended while you're attacking.
Yeah.
And I think that you kind of like when you learn how to swim or when you learn how to ride a bike, like there's certain skills that once you have the fundamental understanding of them, it's good to know those things, right? Like I don't need to be Michael Phelps, but it's good to know how to. You gotta be able to be in the water. Yeah,
you can't get lost. You can't be drowning if you just jump in the water.
Yeah.
You gotta be able to float. But yeah, I think I feel like what we need a little bit more is a little bit more like self-defense every once in a while.
Yeah, just
sometimes we get a little bit too much into the sport.
I'm definitely guilty of that. You know, because I'm a guard player myself. I like to play close guard a lot, and this is something I'm working on is recognizing when I'm really vulnerable. Like when I go for deep half guard, and the side of my head is like right there, laying
It's like in a real fight, somebody's just gonna punch you in the face.
Yeah, someone's just gonna hammer down on
Yeah.
you. So it's good to have jiu-jitsu that also protects your face at the same time.
Or it's like if you get into deep half, you better make a move real quick.
Yeah.
You know, you can't sit around if you're gonna be in those situations. I mean, they could work really well, but if you hesitate, if you wait around, then you're gonna get. If you're not getting them off balance where they have to find their balance and plan out with their hands, then that's not good jiu-jitsu.
I was listening to an interview.
Self-defense wise.
Yeah, I completely agree. I was listening to an interview the other day where I think it was a Mitsuyo Maeda quote. He said, if you are doing jiu-jitsu and they can touch your face, then you're doing jiu-jitsu wrong.
Did you say that to me? I think I saw that the other day too.
No, it wasn't.
I saw somebody said.
Or it might have been Elio Gracie. He might have been Elio Gracie.
I think.
Did you listen to the Mason Fowler interview on BJJ Fanatics?
No, I didn't.
Okay,
no.
That's where I heard it from.
I heard that about a week ago too.
Yeah.
I was watching.
So you have been in San Diego your whole life.
My whole life, man.
And you love it.
I love it. It's hard to leave. It would have to be a really big opportunity for me to leave. Because, I got my nieces and nephews. I gotta be, I got uncle duties.
Okay.
I got responsibilities.
You're a family man.
Yeah, I don't have my own family, but I am a family man.
Yeah.
That's the number one thing for me. That's why I'm always like coaching with my brother, because my brother's like, hey, we kind of need your help on the defensive side or whatever. I'm always there for him. We've been teammates. Actually, I think my brother's probably gonna start training next week. He's about to have a baby, so he's gonna be off work, so he's gonna have a little bit more free time. So he might start training next week. So I'll probably try to go as much as I can.
Okay, so you have been in San Diego your whole life. What makes a good burrito?
What makes a good burrito?
Well, here, let me ask this one first. Best burrito in San Diego. Go.
Ooh. So like best burrito spot or the best type of burrito?
Best burrito spot first. I want to hear both. But
All right, I got to give a shout out to my boy George, the Guac is Extra Far fan, for the Lolitas burritos.
Okay, I've had the Lolitas.
Hey, Lolitas, everybody. Yeah, George is cool. He's a black belt also. So, yeah, he's a black belt, and he has his own school in Chula Vista, the Chula Vista Jiu-Jitsu Club on 3rd Avenue. Yeah, he's a really good guy. Yeah, he's always wearing Jiu-Jitsu too.
And why are the burritos in San Diego so good?
Oh, because we got the real Mexicans over here, man. It's just in the DNA, man. That's it.
Have you ever gone to another state and had a burrito there? And like, tell me what I want to hear.
Yeah, it's like, I don't know, they're not using the right tortillas or something. Just the ingredient. I don't know the way they do it. It's like missing something.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, the salsa's not, whatever. There's always like something missing from it.
Mm-hmm.
But over here we got the best, man.
Okay, so a question I asked you already is, what's a talent that you wish you had? Let me ask you this: what's a hidden talent that you have? What's a secret talent that not many people know that Nick Martinez has?
All right, I could do this thing with my eyes. Check this out. Is this on video too? Or what?
It's on video. Go ahead. Oh, no way. For the listeners who are just using audio only, he's able to essentially individually single out each eyeball and move them independently from one another. That was the best way I could describe it. Nice. Good job, Nick.
I think I started doing that in 8th grade.
I can't do that. That's definitely a hidden talent. Very good. Nick, what's the meaning of life?
That's a complex question, but for me, it's like discovering who you really are. Not who you think you are, but just like understanding yourself to a higher level, to where you start gaining more patience in all these different situations, and you can, think things through logically and try to be your best. You don't have to be the best, but you have to be your best at whatever you're doing. And it's hard to discover like who you really are, because a lot of people don't know who they are. They don't know what they really want. I know a lot of my life, I didn't know exactly what I wanted to do, but once you start discovering the things that you love, and you kind of start doing that like daily, you become a lot happier. And people see that, people notice that. That's the vibe check right there. When you see that somebody's doing the things that they're meant to do, and, you can feel that. I think that's what it is. What about you?
What's the meaning of life?
Yeah.
Well, so I believe in God.
Yeah, me too.
I haven't always believed in God, but I do now.
When did it change for you?
It changed for me actually when I got to college. When I got to college, first of all, I met a person. I met a rabbi who really just got me to rethink everything. He helped me to see that it's not irrational to think that this crazy world of ours, this amazing universe, was created. I used to think the idea that we might have a creator, I used to think that was crazy. I used to think it was like superstitious, right? Like Santa Claus, or like the Tooth Fairy or something like that. But
Easter Bunny.
I don't think it's irrational anymore. I don't think it's so crazy. I mean, there's so much about this world, about this universe, that's just so unexplainable. I mean, when you really
just the way everything works, right?
When you really boil it down, we know next to nothing. We know so little, and really it just came down to humbling myself and having the humility to admit that there's bigger forces at work than myself. And so I think that we have a creator, and not just that we have a creator, but I also think that we were created intentionally. Like, we were created with a purpose. And I realize I'm giving this like long-winded, roundabout answer to your question. What is the meaning of life? But
do you think all of your choices have already been planned, or you kind of have free will on that?
Okay, all right. So the free will question, right?
Yeah, it's like, do you think that there was already a plan and you're just going through this plan that was like already scripted?
Okay, so check this out.
Or you think like you got options and you can do whatever you like, whatever you are, like you can do whatever you want.
Good question, Nick. Okay, so here's my take on free will. So I think that if God is all powerful, all knowing, so like omnipotent, omniscient, God can do everything, God knows everything, God is everywhere, omnipresent, right? So in other words, if there's nothing that God can't do, then therefore God already knows what the future is, like there is no time, right? Like time is something that we experience as humans. So, but that's not the story with God. If God is all, right? If God is infinite, if God is infinity, then there is no time. There's no future. There's no past. There's no future. Past, present, future, it's all the same. So therefore, God already knows everything. So therefore, therefore your future, Nick, is already planned. It's already like, I think of it like this. I think of it like the storybook is already completely written. The book is finished. You're on a page in the middle of the book right now.
Now, is it only one book, or is there multiple books?
You have a book, I have a book, and the whole world.
Well, I mean, our story is in the same book, like me and you right here, right? This one. But what I'm saying is, you know how they talk about it's the universe? What if there's a multiverse?
So I don't really believe in the whole multiverse thing.
Okay.
Well, here's the thing.
Hey man, for me it's possible. I don't know.
Well, let's say that
just like you say, we can't know everything.
Let's say that there's multiple universes. Well, then just take all of those and put them into like one.
It's in a bookcase.
Yeah, take all the multiverses and then put them into one bag. Okay, that's the universe. See, like, what we're calling the universe, the word universe.
It's
like
one verse.
Uni means one. So, like, when I say the universe, what I mean is everything. Okay.
So is that like where university comes from?
I'm not the etymology of the word university. Can't say I'm quite an expert of, but so here's the thing about free will, Nick. This is my take on it. Whether or not our stories are already known to God, whether or not it's already been pre-planned, it doesn't matter to us, because from our perspective, we don't know. We're blind of it. We're ignorant of it. So therefore, our experience is as though we do have free will. Our experience is as though we're free to choose. We have a fork in the road. We can go left. We can go right. Even if God knows I'm going to go right, even if that's already been predetermined, my experience is I can go either way. So having that choice, having that 50-50 split.
We're living one moment at a time.
We're living one moment at a time, and so our perspective is we do have free will, and that's what matters. The perspective. If we already knew what we were going to do, then we wouldn't have free will, because then we would be a slave to the truth, to the outcome of our own destinies. It's because we don't know.
So do you know how like when everybody says they go to heaven, that then it's just like pure happiness or whatever?
If you deserve that.
Yeah. Do you think when you go, you're just enlightened by the truth, and that's why you don't? That creates the happiness.
Here's what I think, and this is just what I think.
Yeah.
It's my podcast, and I'm gonna speak my.
I know you like getting.
thoughts.
I know you like getting to this stuff. That's why.
I love it. I love diving deep, and that's. I want to do it on this podcast more. I'm glad that we're going there. Nick, what was your question?
Shoot.
You're
talking about heaven.
Oh, okay. So I think we have a creator, right? And we are the creation, right? Now the creation is finite. But I think the only explanation for the creator is that the creator has to be infinite. Because if the creator is not infinite, if the creator is finite, well then we have to ask the question, well then what created the creator? Right? So then you run into that paradox of...
It keeps going and going.
Yeah, who's the creator's creator? Okay, well then who's the creator's creator's creator, and so forth. So in my mind, the creator is infinite and the creation is finite. Okay? So we are in the finite, and then outside of the finite, that's the infinite source. Right? So here's what I think. I think when we die, we return
to the source.
So
then in the source, you have truth, knowledge, and light, and everything. You have access to everything, right?
We're back to the source.
Yeah, so then it's just, you're in the
now,
source spot.
I do also think that...
I believe that too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel that.
Cool, man. But I think your experience of the source may vary based on...
What were you doing?
Yeah.
A lot of the choices you made.
Right, like I think...
But then that goes to, you're like... You think we have choices, but we really don't, because everything's already written. Kind of. Is that what you're thinking?
It doesn't matter if everything's already written, because from our perspective, while we are alive, we don't know it. And so
when we go to the source is already saving us a spot. This is going to be your spot.
But we don't know until we're there.
Yeah.
Nick, let's go ahead and wrap up. You know, I think we're at we're at maybe almost an hour.
Okay.
It's a good time. I want to say thank you again for being. You were my third guest on the podcast, and this is the point. This is the moment when I'm gonna get a little sappy. I love you, dude.
I love you too, man. That's why I'm here, man. I haven't seen you for a while, and I miss training with you.
Yeah.
You know, you took me to another level while I was training with you.
I appreciate you saying that. You know, I don't often think that way. Yeah, I mean, in jiu-jitsu, you know, I like to focus a lot on my guard. I like to focus on defensive, the defensive aspect. I'm more of a counter jiu-jitsu player, and I think a lot of people, when they watch other people doing jiu-jitsu, they're very like go 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 aggressive, like get on top, stay on top.
Well, that makes like good highlights, you know.
It makes for good highlights until
like more energy until you get messed
until
up.
you overcommit and get swept, and now you've exerted all your energy, and now you're exhausted, and now the fight begins. And
a new fight.
Right. So you know, I've always been a counter jiu-jitsu player, and you know, I don't really feel like there's too many of those out there. So I challenge people when we first started rolling, I would just, because you and I really do have opposite jiu-jitsu styles. I mean, it's really like a yin and yang kind of thing. I'm really more of a bottom guard player. I'm looking for the sweep. You know, I'm trying to off balance you and get the kazushi, and then impose my game, and that's what I've always tried to do with you. And I know from training with you that you took some lessons from me with that. And I remember at the tail end of our time training at the same school, I remember you were working on your guard and you were pulling off some sweeps. I remember the scissor sweep in particular, which is my favorite, and that made me really proud. And you know, I hope your knee heals up a bit so you can get back on the mats and we can keep at it. And
yeah, it's almost ready. I'll be back soon.
Yeah. And you know, you're one of the best friends that I've made out here in San Diego, and I mean, what more can I say, dude? I'm super, super grateful that you're here, and thank you for being my third guest, Nick.
Yeah, man. Thank you for having me.
Of course. Hello, listeners. You have officially made it to the end of this episode of the Podcast Perplexium. I wanted to take a moment at the end here to talk about an amazing app and website called Anchor. After launching my podcast, the number one question I got from family and friends was, how exactly did I get my episodes up on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and Google Podcasts? Well, the answer is Anchor. If you want to start your very own podcast, or if you ever have even thought about starting your own podcast, Anchor is the way to go because it's so easy and best of all, it's completely free to use. I especially love Anchor because my podcast is also recorded on video and will upload my finished video to Spotify and then automatically upload a stripped audio-only file from the video to Apple and Google Podcasts, all with one click of a button. It couldn't be easier. Again, if you ever wanted to start your own podcast, choose the distributing service Anchor by going to www.anchor.fm or search for the app by typing in Anchor on the Apple App Store. Until next time, Dylan Fathoms, signing out.